1. So,
woo!
Yeah. So that's that. And let me do it from my page. Let's see. I should find it right here.
Yeah, well, there we are.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to share it. I should find.
And there we are. Awesome.
Okay. Right here.
Yo.
Check. So you hear me?
Yeah.
We are good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, buddy.
Awesome.
So I think we're you ready to get up in this? All right, shoot. Let me go ahead and get that recording over there. And let's see. I want to get the proper. Oh yeah, we got to do the music.
Yeah.
He's that funny young guy to talk to. Always seem to have a good time. Always coming back around. Have a friend in life. Never black sounds like Dave Chapelle. Sarah Black sounds like Dave Chapelle. Come and try to sit down with him.
So I'm gonna play this whole thing out for this like 2 minutes. It's not bad, but yeah, like I guess the other one we'll do for like 30 seconds, and it'll be like black hair, black hair.
Yeah.
And the shorter and more like minimal it is, the easier it'll be to just like do other versions, you know.
Totally.
And I'll probably have maybe Jose Melendez do like the animated stuff too. You know?
No,
See about that.
Hey, whoever you can get with that talent, he's good at that. That talent and everything like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
he's really good with that.
Yeah, I'll just do like a guitar piece to it, and then if we can, like Taylor can help me like do anything else to it and stuff like that, or anyone else. But yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll try to have maybe a couple different versions and different ways that it'll be. But yeah, totally.
Oh, Chapelle. So I'm going to fade us up here. All right. Welcome to the Black Aaron broadcast, episode 2. Today's date is June 21st, 2018. Here once again live at CSUDH, California State Dominguez Hills, Los Angeles, California. I'm going to go ahead and give my second guest a wonderful introduction. He makes a fabulous ceviche. He stays dripping in San Diego local craft beer t-shirts. Thinks I sound like Dave Chapelle, yet his laugh identical to that of actor Seth Rogan, devout worshiper of legendary recording engineer, music producer Steve Albini, one of the most animated and aggressive beer pong players I've ever encountered, extraordinarily talented songwriter, lead singer, and guitarist, one of my favorite new bands, Above Borders, out of San Diego, the Mr. Alex Gradwhol.
Wow, thank you. That was an amazing intro. I've never had such accolades and accomplishments.
Wow, you didn't know you did all that.
No, I did. The beer pong one was amazing. I was especially appreciative of that.
Dude, how are you doing today, Mr. Alex Gradwhol?
I'm doing great. I have been hanging around the LA, Orange County area for the past few days, hanging out with my friend and our friend Taylor
yeah.
Hollingsworth. Need a producer, Taylor. Go get him.
Is that his He's got like a tag name?
No.
Oh,
we are going
producer.
to make him a tag name. If you need a music producer,
does.
he's the best in Orange County and all the area.
he does.
That, pop punk kind of stuff.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
incredible.
Yeah, he's really talented. I want to work with him on some stuff. So real quick before we get into this, how do you who do you have in the World Cup, bro? I know you're like super World Cup man. I'm not, but I would like to just ask you just to feel your energy on that,
World
bro.
Cup, man. It's so crazy because the underdogs I feel like have been just coming out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And well, obviously they're underdogs and just taking it. Like Mexico just took Germany 1-0, you know, and the city of San Diego blew up.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you,
it went crazy down there. Huh? I didn't even
shutting
think about
down
that.
Streets, man. There was flags everywhere. People, beers, and
cervezas,
everything. Oh my goodness, it was ridiculous.
Were you out there in that madness?
Oh, my mom was like, "You better not, because you're gonna get a phone call somewhere." From somewhere. No, just my family wanted to go to Tijuana and we were just like, let's go party up. But goodness, it would have been too crazy.
Do you have family in Tijuana?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
We have family everywhere. Yeah. No, Tijuana, South San Diego, the new CSUDH family in LA over here.
Yeah.
But that game was huge for us. A lot of us did not expect that. So
I did see some of my Hispanic brethren online. They were like kept saying "Vámonos, Mexico," something.
Yeah.
What does "Vámonos" mean?
Let's go Mexico.
So that's the like Mexican like Lego.
Yeah, like "Vamos, let's go."
Oh, whoa!
Yeah,
see, there's that energy. There it is, man. So actually, I figured I'd throw this out there. I did. You know Tim Howard, the guy for
the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he actually went to my high school.
Random. Wow.
North Brunswick Township High School. Anyone from New Jersey that's watching this went to high school with knows that. Yeah, he was like, I don't know, he was like a year or so ahead of me. Somebody can correct me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he went to our high school. So cool, random soccer. That's all I got. I played rec soccer, so you know.
He's definitely one of the best American soccer players of all time.
So he's pretty.
Oh yeah.
And he's still playing, huh?
I believe in the MLS. Yeah, the American League. Yeah.
Is he like the Kelly Slater of like soccer? Like, has he just been like killing it for a long time?
Yeah, and he's a great commentator too. When he's playing, he comments for NBC Sports when they have the English Premier League. He sometimes does that. And he's a great person to listen to. He's got a great insight on the game and someone who can really see how the game's going to be flowing and stuff like that. Goalkeepers, man.
What?
Goalkeepers.
Dude, that's what's up. One more question before we get into this.
Of course.
I was snooping on your social media. I saw that you have a picture with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
What is that about? Where'd that come about?
So, my brother is married to a amazing woman named Jessica, and her family is Filipino. And so last May, they offered us a trip to the Philippines, and
wow.
So my family and I decided to go because how often do you get a trip to the Philippines or an invitation? So
for sure,
we were hanging around a breakfast table, and her Jessica's mother's cousin works in the Filipino government, and she was just asking us, what would we like to do?
Yeah,
and I sarcastically threw out, I would like to meet Manny Pacquiao. And she literally the next day was like, okay, we're going to meet him today. And so the next day from that breakfast table, we were in the Filipino Senate, and he walks through the door and got to shake his hand and got an autograph. And yeah, very random. And you can just throw things out into the universe and things happen. You never know, So
that's what's up. That's true, man. Speak truth to power, brother.
Yeah. That was an amazing thing.
Dude, were you super pumped about that?
It was like nerves and excitement and like so many emotions you go through. But the funniest part was like to get into the Senate, like you have to dress rather well, right?
Yeah.
And I was expecting like 100-degree temperature every day in the Philippines with like 100%
like humidity.
So I didn't pack any jeans.
Yeah.
So like I want to roll up in shorts. I'm like, no, you can't do that, dude.
Oh, you're not allowed to rock shorts, like dress code. You need to come correct or what?
I had to borrow my friend Charles's pants that were like 3 inches too short.
I knew it. High waters.
Yeah.
You looked pretty in that picture, man.
Oh, goodness.
You're lucky I'm not bringing up like the little thing. You look like we're super clean cut. Now you're like kind of, edgy, grungy.
Yeah, it's for the rock band look as
man.
You got to do at this point. But
dude, that's awesome.
That was definitely a highlight of a lifetime so far.
Dude, okay. So to start off,
the
first thing I want to talk about is what do you, and I'll give a quick like personal opinion. What do you think happened to rock music? Like, because
give me the biggest question of the
because let's just start off hard. Like, okay, like my thing is like the reason, and we'll listen to some of your music, like which we kind of did on the intro. That was the Alex, if you didn't know. But my thing is like the 90s. I loved so much of the 90s rock, like a lot of the grunge stuff, like, you know, whatever, Nirvana, you know, Pearl Jam. I mean, like everything that was the 90s. It was a little edgier. And maybe I've had discussions with other like DMA, digital music, media arts students and artists. And like one of the guys said it might have been just because it was a different era of culture and, you know, struggle that maybe no longer exists. I'm just like, because they're either, for me, the bands are too soft, like, you know what I mean? Or like they're super poppy, like, I don't know, everybody's like purple, what are they called? Maroon 5 or I don't know, Imagine Dragons. I mean, Tame Impala, like Grizzly Bear, like something, or it's like, you know what I mean? And it's easy. I mean, you can find hard stuff. Like we have people in our program place, like super hard stuff, but like death metal, like Vic plays, you know, death metal, which is cool, but like, where's that like middle ground? Where's that at? Because I feel like your band does that. You know, it reminds me a lot of like the 90s and like the grunge and stuff like that. What do you think happened to rock music?
I mean, it just seems like it's a collection of a lot of different things. Like, first off, there weren't too many, I mean, like competing genres maybe. Like hip hop was still in its infancy, still developing, you know, rap was still infant. But I think also radio stations aren't playing that stuff anymore. It doesn't seem like local bands get that sort of good break and like a good time slot when people are listening. It's always like the local hour that you're listening to, which is like on a Sunday night, you know? Like all of the music that I've had to send to radio stations, it's all like the local spotlight, you know? And it's also like how you said, like those Imagine Dragon kind of bands are on rock radio stations when that stuff was like pop and things like that. But I also think a lot of ideas, I mean, rock has been around for so long, so it's like you got to create new tones and you got to create new sounds, and it's a little difficult to be so original with such a background and solid foundation for what rock is. But I mean, the reason I make the music that I do is because I had that same feeling as you, where I missed that stuff from Nirvana. You know, you brought up Steve Albini, like that was like the guy. If you listen to his collection, it's all the stuff that we're asking for. But is he recording those bands as frequently nowadays, and are those bands making the radio?
Well, he can't carry the torch forever.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's just one guy in one studio in Chicago, and this music is being made all over the country, all over the world. You know, so. But it's also, it seems maybe that, you know, it's more accessible to make other genres because bands got to practice. They have to rent out spaces. They have to, you know, pay several hours to record this stuff and then re-record it and then pay to mix it. Where rather hip hop, you know, you can download a sample pack, and I'm not saying it's easier or harder, but it's more accessible, definitely. And, you know, a lot of people, if they have a laptop, can just start making beats, and it's really exciting and really fun. I mean, it's difficult to tell someone, oh, I'm recording an album, and then have it come out maybe a year or two later, and all this anticipation for that album sort of like dies down. Or rather, if you make a beat, it can come out that next day, or it can be on SoundCloud that same day, and the excitement's there, and then you can keep producing and keep things going, you know? It's like albums are almost like not what people want. They want singles that come out rather frequently.
Yeah, because they definitely seem to, there's been a lot of, I guess, marketing tours, like they like try to get the singles out there. Hit singles, you know, and they seem to be able to do a lot with that.
I mean, I was on the drive over here today, and I hadn't listened to my songs for a little while. You know, I play them, but I hadn't actually listened to the actual EP for a second. So I wanted to just listen to it again and maybe refresh on lyrics that I always forget. And I was thinking, dang, I need to make a single. I need to get something out there again, you know, with a bit more production, and maybe just focus on one song that I can sort of have that's really produced well and really taken care of, really polished, and people can enjoy that for maybe a month or two, and then maybe bring out another one, you know.
But kind of have it all lined up and planned out. You can't really just kind of walk around all la-di-da. You got to come correct with like the surgical precision, like marketing and game plan, and really, I guess, sell yourself. I do want to kind of play like that one, my favorite song of yours, and let me see if I can just grab it real quick. Where did I? Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna bring this up on the PC. This is from your newest EP.
Yeah, this is our first self-titled EP called Above Borders. It's on Amazon, Spotify, YouTube. Just type in Above Borders and it'll pop up.
Okay, and it's called It Feels Like, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this and for the people, and then get back into it real quick. PC. So I just cut the mics. I'll just play that.
Seems like I always try to pass you by and give a goddamn vibe. But it feels like I can't see you enough. And it seems like I lose my mind, maybe way too much. Feels like I always try.
Right, ask him about Steve Albini.
I was joking yesterday saying that every time you mention Steve Albini, they have to take a shot, because it's going to be like a drinking game. You relate to them.
Oh, I didn't cut the mics. Thanks, babe. I'll just tell her when I. I gotta get like. No. Oh, and then it still wasn't cut.
Oh,
goodness. Okay. I love that I forgot to cut the mics, and then my wife just told me mics are not cut, so I didn't cut those. That was Above Borders. It Feels Like, and I love that song.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. You've been the greatest person since the beginning. Like, I never had someone that really loved it, and then Aaron was like, "It's amazing." And I'm like, "Oh goodness,
dude,
thank you so much."
It's sick. It makes me want to like rage, jump in the pit, kick stuff, jump up and down. And it's like, what's that one lyric? Something high. You don't want to say.
You don't like the roses I cut?
Yeah, you don't like the roses I cut.
It was actually fun. Yeah, because I literally gave roses to this girl, and it was just like, no. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, that became my great lyric.
You got curved. And you're like, I'm gonna write a song about this shit.
Hey,
I'm gonna show you.
That's the best. That's the best lyrics right there. When you have those true emotions come out.
You don't like my roses that good.
Like, dude, come on. How do you not like a rose? Like a fresh cut rose from the plant? Like, come on. Yeah, that song was super fun. Me and my drummer, whose name's Mauro Alderete, he's gonna hate that I fumble names. I'm horrible at pronunciations all the time. Like, our friend Barry, who was the first guest here, has to correct me, but also inform me of the proper ways too.
Barry's a walking encyclopedia of information you may or may not want when you may or may not want to hear it. Whether you feel like that's a good idea or not.
Yeah, but we jam out all the songs, and that was one that sort of jammed out and just came naturally from that jam sessions that we have in his house and his bedroom, which just massive distortion and fuzz, but yeah,
not the best recording setting.
Yeah, not the most acoustically perfect room, but you
get what you can work with, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. That song was actually recorded in Tijuana. It was recorded at my friend Patrick Alexander's studio called Cacho, his studio in Tijuana. It's in the Colonia Cacho. It's
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whoa, I learned that one Spanish word today. Thank you.
It's a studio that really focuses on the genres that we like. Everything between grindcore to pop punk and synth pop and all that kind of stuff. He gets those bands and records all day and night.
Damn.
So we were lucky we got to record with him, and we did the whole EP in I think about 12 hours.
Wow, dude! So you guys didn't sleep?
No, yeah, we knocked it out in like one day. We went there, set up, and we jammed it all out, and then we did vocals, and that was pretty much it. We didn't have time to do anything else. He was pretty busy.
Around.
Yeah, he had a session the next day, and he's like, okay, we got to do it this one day, or else.
And then he just went into what he sleep for like 2 and then like 3 minutes and then do another session.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he was so exhausted after. I was like, what are you gonna do tomorrow? I was like, oh, gotta wake up for another session. Yeah, he's working. He's a great engineer. Yeah, someone.
Dang.
But yeah, I think going back to the what happened to rock, it's also maybe does rock cultures and communities in cities, it's a little difficult, especially for someone like myself who's trying to get shows together. Getting bands together and all this stuff. It's not as easy and as simple as it may seem from the outside.
No, people don't. God, I had no idea like how much work is involved with making music until I joined this program, or just understanding music, like the technical aspects, the physics. Like the first semester, like we talked about, like if a tree falls in the wood, does anyone hear it? Like, I mean, the sound pressure levels will vibrate the molecules. That's what we interpret as humans as sound. But if we're not there, technically we won't hear it. But that same, the physics of the hitting the ground and vibrating the air molecules around and generate a particular sound. The animals they'll hear something. I don't know how their animal ears work, but we got really technical into that. The little bones and how they interpret and change it from, the analog signals. It's crazy, man. It's a little deeper than I was originally anticipating going into this program. I didn't know I was going to be in some quantum physics.
That was definitely a conversation that got in some conflict. People were like, it does make sound. It does.
Barry was going in on bringing up these abstract concepts or scientific journal. Man, it's a lot. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I guess I don't know. As long as we got you, man, your band is making some dope music I like, and that's why I recommended the group Future Islands to you. I was surprised you never heard of them.
No, I hadn't. But once you showed me them, it was just like another genre to go off onto, and it was another idea, more ideas,
Yeah, and I thought that was cool because like you have a very unique voice, and I'll be honest, when I first heard, we were down in the studio on the first floor, and we call it the dungeon, and we were having like a lab with our teacher, and then like you had your laptop and you were playing some music for, I don't know, Taylor or somebody. I was like, oh, let me listen, and I didn't know it was your music, and I was like, wait a second, I almost felt about your music the same way I felt about Barry. I wasn't sure. I was like, I've never heard anything like this because the voice was so unique. I was like, do I like this? I was like, wait a second. And, I didn't want a knee-jerk reaction, You got to be aware. You said, what if I say something, just off the bat? And I didn't want to do that. So, but it might have effed up our relationship moving forward here, whatever. And then I start listening. I was like, this is kind of cool. Nothing else really sounds like this. I like unique sounds. And then that's why I recommend Future Islands, because you have that kind of like dark, like raspy kind of, voice. And so does the Future Islands guy. He doesn't sound like a traditional like singer, but he sounds really good. And, it's like melodic and stuff. And I think you have that too. You got that really good, unique voice. That's why I look forward to hearing whatever you're doing and working on. I'm curious, have you ever felt self-conscious about how unique your voice is at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Oh totally. No, it was not an easy road to get to how I sing.
Yeah.
I was very subconscious of just singing in general, and
Yeah.
it wasn't until I started jamming with my drummer, and we started really, really, focusing on music that the voice sort of came about. I always loved voices, like how we mentioned, like Nirvana, like Kurt and Tom Waits, and these guys that just have those rough voices, and I feel like tons of people have those beautiful, pretty voices, but those unique voices just sort of stand out to me. Like Bob Dylan's voice isn't the most pretty, but
no, he's got the lyrics.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
His voice isn't. He's not like a traditional singer.
Very nasally,
poetic.
So I don't know. When I was a kid, I never really got the you have a great voice kind of a thing. So I was like, so how do I make my mark? And it was one day we were recording our song Ego, and my drummer's dad was actually like, man, you got a good voice. And it just, slowly when people start telling you things like that, especially you, like telling me that you liked it and that kind of stuff, it just builds confidence in yourself, Yeah. And then you sort of, I don't know, I sort of just became, that's me,
Yeah, and you owned it, man. Yeah. You freaking owned it. You took some self-ownership. Like, you should just be the best you can be, and from that, I think that's how the best things will kind of, happen. You be your most genuine, authentic self, and it's difficult to do that because everyone around you's in one way or another, whether it's social norms or individuals, is just screaming, "Be what everyone else is being," And you're like, I want a pretty voice like all the other pop rock, singers. I want to sound like Adam Levine from Turbo. Yeah.
Far from that.
I just had a great animated cartoon, random snippy. People are just looking. I love it, man. I love it, though. It's great.
Yeah, and I think, too, at the end of the day, it's like if you're not having fun with what you're doing, then why do it, And doing that voice and having this genre and that stuff, it's just so much fun. And it's just so free. And, the other day, okay, I haven't told this story, but the other day.
Go ahead.
So our last show that we played was in Tijuana. And
I was going to ask you about that. Go ahead.
At this venue called the Mustache Bar, and that's the prominent bar in Tijuana. I always go,
creepy.
But it's a prominent bar in Tijuana where a lot of bands play. So the lead singer of Green Day, he has a side band called Long Shots, and they played there.
Really?
They played at that same bar about 3 or 4 weeks before we did.
Say what?
Yeah. So it's a prominent bar, and so we were playing our first showcase there, and it was probably our worst show we've probably played. Yeah.
Honesty.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, everyone will come up to you and be like, "Oh, it was great. It was great." You're like, "Really?" Because I totally got hit in the face with a microphone halfway through a song.
Did somebody throw it at you?
No, it was set up like this, and I click in the pedals off and on
So you're just like, bam.
I was clicking in the pedal and it just boom, and I was like, "Oh, welcome to the show." Whoa,
Wake
wow.
up.
And then my drummer was playing and he lost his stick, and so I look down and I see it, and I'm like, "Oh shoot, does he have another stick?" So I grab it and I throw it to him, and by the time it's midair, I looked at him and he has 2 sticks in his hand, and it just hits him. I'm like, awesome. This is great. This is going great.
Your drummer is like, who the fuck is that stick, man? It's like, it was me, bro. I'm sorry.
Dude, I don't know, dude. That's rude, man. You guys are rude out there, man. So yeah, we played that set, and then a guy with an acoustic guitar named Chico State played after us, and I was like, okay, this is Chico State. Yeah, he's a great musician. His band name was Chico State. Yeah.
So that's funny.
It was cool, and he played, and then everyone was sort of country-ish kind of rock stuff, and we were just like,
stick out like a sword.
Well, yeah, that was our last show, and that one, not everything's glitz and glamour of rock.
Oh man, but these stories they're gonna make for great stories in the future when you're blowing up and you're just straight killing it, and then you're talking about, I remember the good old days when I used to headbutt microphones on stage in Tijuana and throw drumsticks at my drummer while he was playing and already had 2 drumsticks. I thought he was gonna grow a third. Just
third arm, Tom fills.
Yeah, he just opposite Def Leppard, times 3, and he just throws one out of his back and he catches it. And he's like, boom.
That set was definitely definitely one for the memory books. Yeah.
I mean, that's a legendary set, man.
Yeah, and the entire time when I was thinking, because we had played several shows before that, and I was like, oh, it's not so bad. We're pretty good. It's going well. And then all of a sudden, that was the one. I was like, okay, no, we needed that one as a reality check.
And you needed to be humble.
Yeah.
Sit down. Totally. Be humble.
Totally. Sit down. That was our funny one, and that was the one too that we wanted to kill it so bad.
You were so anxious. You were hungry.
Yeah.
You were super hungry, and
oh, they served us up.
Oh,
they had us on the spigot skewer, and they were cutting us off like tacos.
You thought you were gonna. Oh, no. You thought you were gonna serve it up, but you got Salt Bae. Put a little seasoned you up, right?
And the day before, I was jamming with a bunch of our DMA friends. And I started going off on like this like Rage Against the Machine screaming thing. So halfway through the set in Tijuana, I like lost my voice because I was screaming too much the day before.
Yeah, so you got to balance those things out, man. The voice, you'll find your limits and stuff with as far as your voice and your body and everything. It's going to be challenged, especially tours and crap like that. Have you gone any tours yet? Or
no.
It's something that you're working towards?
Yeah, we're building up. We're making the connections and definitely trying to build, I don't know, just listenership,
Yeah.
Like we've recently been sending our songs to like college radio stations. I feel like that's a solid foundation for radio play, and stuff. And they play the more avant-garde kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to play the Katy Perry stuff all the time because they don't need sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. They're not reliant on that. They have their own income from the school, and they have their own support. So definitely college radio. I've been a big fan of college radio for a long time.
That's what's up, because I want to I think the podcast thing is good for a lot of reasons. I can document like all our our kind of travels and within the education DMA program, music, growing as artists. I'm going to invite other people from our program on who are also artists, different facets. And I do want to eventually, like if I could get enough big enough of a following, maybe like do like a little event, little show, like a little weenie roast, do Above Borders, do this other band that I'm recording with Thompson, Tran Midnight Marauders or Maulers, which are really cool. I want you to, I'll let you listen to them maybe a little later. Dude, we went to a session here in Carson/Long Beach, whatever. I had to pick my wallet up because I told you I left my freaking wallet there last night. We were recording them. And dude, they went into I was just sitting on the couch and Thompson was like playing with, he's trying to print a track for something we recorded. And they were just rehearsing in like the living room, and they're really cool band. And they just went into the zone. They got in the flow of just like jamming with each other, and it just got so crazy. It was just such high level like artists, like performance-ship. It was so crazy. I was just like, and I would love to see, because they don't sound like a lot of other bands too. Our professor, when I played him for him, he said like some of the stuff when they jam sounds like Santana, but other stuff sounds like rockabilly,
Nice.
But weird, like the rockabilly, some almost kind of folky, some stuff, but it's really it's rock too. And also and they either their songs, I'm trying to figure out how to, because I want to be able to, like, just like you and like this band we're working with, I want to kind of eventually be able to promote some of the stuff, like once we get some solid tracks done, and try to figure out like venues potentially, like in Orange County, like a few spots or something to build up fans and this stuff. But I want to what was I gonna say? I want to I guess I just want to get them out there essentially, and just have other people listen to it. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry. They have to, in order to communicate with the band and say, like, try to, because they don't have names for all their songs, but some of them they have names, So I was like, so when you have names, can you record these? Or like, yeah, but like, and I heard one. It was like, and I was like, I wanted to call it, because I saw a Wild on the table called like Bad Motherfucker, because it was like the drummer. He was like, when he was doing it, everyone else was playing, but he was like in control, like he was killing. And like I tried to record it on my phone. I don't know if it worked or not. I'm not gonna try it and play it, but it was just so good because they have super hard ones, but then they're like, oh, we always have to even it out with like a panty dropper or something. They have these panty dropper songs. I don't even know how to really describe it, but when I have more finished work from them, I'll definitely be sharing that on the show or with you.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Or with anyone else. So yeah, man. I mean, if I can just put it out there in the air, if like, you know, this comes along and maybe I can have like do some little shows or something and just promote some of these bands, that would be super cool. So let's see. How long have you been writing music?
Writing. I guess it's how you define writing, because I'm not really someone that goes on my pad and paper and gonna be like, on this bar I'm gonna go to here, and this one I'm gonna go here. I mean, I've been playing guitar for like 10 years, and I always just sort of just pick it up and just play, and I just freestyle vocals. So, I mean, I guess maybe writing, honestly, maybe like 10 years, because there's riffs and stuff that you play and you sort of remember and you sort of keep that going. So there's definitely like guitar riffs that I still remember from some of my first days that I can play right now. And it's sort of, I guess maybe that's technically writing, you know? Yeah,
I'd say so, because they're still writing, you know, the melodies and stuff, and that's important, because I mean, you can only copyright, what is it, lyrics and melodies?
Lyrics and melodies, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that is, and that was cool too, because you actually, when you did your album, you actually copyrighted the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like during the semester that you made it. So that was cool on your part.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have a amazing professor by the name of Seven Bailey, who is a master's in music business from Cal State Northridge.
Dope.
And it was during our maintenance class, and I would solder my XLR cables like in like 15 minutes or something like that, and then the rest of the time I would like go over there and be like, dude, help me like fill out the paperwork. Like, what do I have to do? And he's like, oh yeah, do this and this, upload your MP3s, and, you know, pay $55, and yeah, you got it. And then every once in a while, you know, you check the copyright website to make sure that the status is you know, they're filing it now and like it's approved and completed, because you can still submit your paperwork and it actually not be approved and actually not be copyright, because there's certain like technicalities about if it's too similar to not similar. I think there's certain technicalities I don't remember off the top of my head that you have to sort of check before you submit it, just to make sure that it's covered. But yeah, he's a great professor, and he has an amazing studio called Little White Lotus if people need a recording in the Compton area.
Shout out.
Yeah, I like to do the shout outs when I can.
Yeah, man, we gotta do that.
But yeah, music business is something that you know, not everyone gets taught, and it's a very important side, you know.
Yes.
Especially like, you know, how to get onto Spotify and you know, what websites to go through to get onto there, because some of them collect different royalty fees, and they collect different amounts from you, and it's, you know, you want to get the most that you can, because this is your art, this is your creation, you know.
Yes.
And you know, you just don't want other people fumbling through your you know, your art and taking advantage of you. So the more you know, the more you can check people on the steps through the music business, you know.
Educate yourself, people.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. What else do I have for you? Oh, that's a good question. What's your what is your, aside from girls not taking your roses, what else inspires you to write or make music?
To write and make music. I think I'm a very like politically driven person. Like my major before digital media was political science and sociology.
Oh, really? I thought about that.
Yeah, so I definitely like to talk about like you know, political stuff and just things that I see in the world, you know. I personally get tired of too many love songs. Like, you know, like I'll write one maybe every like 5 songs, maybe something that's in my personal life, but you know, just perspective, really, like I wrote my song Ego, and it's about, you know, capitalistic, egotistical tendencies of CEOs and the millions that they get, and how people can barely afford, you know, to eat and to get rent and to live on their own, you know. So
I actually
things like that.
That song Ego, I'm gonna try and play because Barry and Britt were working on a mix for you, and she sent me like a little snippet. She made sure to tell me to say that it is a rough mix because I know Brittany is a perfectionist. So I want to see if I can play. I'm gonna try and play it.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't heard the mix or anything recently.
I know. So she said it's a rough mix, so I will reiterate that. But I do want to see if, because that ego song. So we're gonna go aux here. Let's see if I can get it to play. If it's gonna work with me. Hold on. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if the number has to like. Hold on. I was gonna put this on the computer, but it like. You know what? I won't do it right now. How about I play? Hold on. I don't know if that's gonna sound. Let me see. I think it's playing now. But,
where is it?
This. Hold on. Why is it so low? Hold on. You know what? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So like this is. You hear how they're doing the. This is just like. So she sent me like 50 seconds. Okay. So that's like, just to kind of give you an idea, and I'll play the actual original later, but what they were doing on that track, and because we were in music production class yesterday, and they did like this cool, on that intro, they did like they automated the panning and added reverb, so it's like just whoa, whoa, whoa.
That sounds
and
sick.
Hearing it, you can't hear it through the text message on my phone, or really probably not there, because I can't even hear it really the proper stereo image on these these speakers. But in the studio, in the proper studio setting, or if you have a home studio, it was so good. It was so dope. Like whatever I was doing, I just immediately just stopped and I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, I love that. It was just like, it just sounded like it was about to get really, really like intense. And then with your voice and like ego destroys, you know, because I heard the original before, and I'll play that a little later. It's just, it made me really excited for where they go as far as production for that song, Britt and Barry. Yeah, because we know we got Barry the synth guy. He did some synth stuff.
That's him playing synth on that intro piece.
Yeah,
that's his synth that he sort of can move, and it changes.
Yeah.
And so he did that, and I had never really produced the song, so I was really excited to see production on one of my songs, and what they've done with it, it's they got great ideas, and where they're taking it, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of what some of the people are doing in our synth class, or music production class. And I mean, we'll get that soon, because at the end of the little spring intercession, you're gonna have to turn that in for Caesar. That's gonna have to be turned in regardless. So I'm excited to see what a lot of people have coming up. Let's see. What is your favorite thing about the program that we're in right now?
I mean, meeting all the people so far has been really awesome, because it's just making you feel part of a community that you know, prior to, if someone feels like they're a lonely musician out there, a community like this makes you feel so empowered. It makes you feel so confident about making music and trying stuff out, and just being free about things. Like how you like going back to the voice, like because of people like you and meeting people like you and others here that say it's cool and I respect their musical opinion, really gives me confidence and stuff like that. So I think so far, just the people in the community and stuff like that, and having friends probably, for a lifetime that you can call up, be like, hey, dude, I have this song idea. You want to jam it out with me? It's something so new, especially being from San Diego. It's not like I'm limited to a county or a city or neighborhoods anymore. It's like, it just opens your eyes. And then from there, you meet people, like I said, Seven, and you meet people like Dell, who are just industry standard musicians.
Yeah, Dell Atkins, legendary bassist.
Yeah, that drive you to work harder for what you want, and definitely can give you confidence.
Surrounded by a lot of like-minded individuals. That was a goal of mine coming into this program of school. I just want to be surrounded by like-minded people. People trying to do, I'm trying to do different stuff, just positive people, talented people. Just not going to really get this again, because once we finish the program, we're all going to be doing our own things. We'll probably keep in contact, but to be able to work with this many people trying to do music and different facets of music at the same time, it's like highly unlikely. So enjoy it while we can. That's why I want to interview like everyone in our program, throughout the next year that we're finishing up our degree, and so everyone can look back on it, document it. It'll be super legit. Another thing, is your family really supportive of your like artistic like music pursuits and stuff?
Yeah. My dad and my mom have been big supporters of just doing what I like. Like my dad's always helped me. Like he initially had got me in guitar lessons and stuff like that, and then my mom was like, she instilled hard work into me. If you want to do this, you got to work hard for it. And, seeing her work every day at her job really makes you want to strive for something great. And so they're awesome. And my brothers and sisters, and they've all gone to my shows, and they've downloaded my albums, and they listen to it, and they tell their friends. And my brother went to my first show in Tijuana. I did not expect him. He happened to be in Tijuana at the same time I was playing the show. Yeah. Wow. And because he has this Century, which he can cross back and forth rather quickly. It's like a pre-check kind of like border crossing thing. Yeah. So he was already down there just to get tacos. And
to get tacos. Yeah, that's how good the tacos are.
Yeah. And then his wife was like, oh, your brother's playing a show in Tijuana, right? And he's like, wait, what? How do you know that? And she's like, oh, Instagram. So she follows me on Instagram, but he doesn't, because he doesn't really use social media and stuff like that. So she's like, oh, let's go to the show. And so I was setting up, and all of a sudden they walked in, and I was like, oh, what the heck? And then when I was in San Diego, my sister, who lives in San Diego, went to that show, and she had such a good time. She started buying everyone beers and stuff like that. I was like, oh, wow. She's like, you want a beer, you want a beer, you want a beer.
Like Oprah. Yeah. You get a Tecate, you get a Corona, Modelo Especial. So good.
So they've all been great. And, I have a nephew that plays music too. So
oh, yeah? How old is he?
He's 21, 22. So I want to get him into the studio. He does that pop punk kind of stuff. He's got that voice for it, so I'm trying to get him here, and the family's been really awesome, and so far the musical journey has been great so far. Like very fortunate, counting my blessings.
Stay blessed. Stay blessed out here. Let's see. How about first music purchases? What are your like earliest? Let's go like early memories, music, and like early purchases. What were those?
I remember the first CD that I bought. This is probably not my character, but I was like, "Who let the dogs out?"
Oh, I did not
expect that one.
Oh God, I did not expect that. People were paying for that.
I mean, I was a young and impressionable person, so at that time, definitely. But I remember the first time the CD where I was like, "This is." Bad. Like this is awesome. Sick.
What was that?
Green Day, Dookie. Ooh. Like that one for me. I was like, damn, his voice, and then the musicianship, and you could definitely hear, they know their music history, and you can definitely hear all those influences come right in onto that. So my brother was huge into that kind of stuff. My brother's 10 years older than me. Yeah. So when I was growing up, 5, 6 years old, he was 15, 16, and so he was getting into his stuff.
He was definitely was he skating and stuff, just listening to all that stuff.
He was like the reggae, like Bob Marley totally came from him. Like all my reggae love came from him, because you walk into his room and it'd be Bob Marley everywhere, and then punk rock, and all that kind of stuff. So the White Stripes and that kind of stuff, totally came from him, and then The early stuff, though, also like my dad, like Bob Dylan to me was like the absolute hero when I was young. Those lyrics and that kind of stuff. Like, even though I play this kind of stuff, the stuff I grew up on was all folk. Like, the first stuff I played and I wrote was all folk. Like, I love the Tallest Man on Earth, who's a Swedish musician.
Okay.
They call him the greatest finger. I can't say that right.
Finger
picker. Like
picker?
he does finger picking
Okay.
on the guitar. Like you know, like Yesterday by like the Beatles and stuff like that. But he's an amazing musician, and then just a bunch of that kind of stuff. You know, old school like blues stuff. That's the stuff I devour. That stuff like T-Bone Walker from like the 20s all the way up to the 60s. You know, Lightning Hopkins. That kind of stuff. It's you got to know your foundation. Those guys.
I feel like, and I just kind of made this analogy in my head and drew this little conclusion there. Like, I feel like because like obviously rock and roll originated from a lot of the I think it was it like rhythm and blues, and stuff. Yeah. Like I watched like Cadillac Records, like Muddy Waters and all that stuff, amazing. And all those guys, and they kind of like, and they did like a little thing in the movie where the Rolling Stones like, hey, we named ourselves after
Muddy Waters,
after the song Muddy Waters or whatever, and like a lot of those ones that came, those a lot of rock bands that kind of made rock popular, Elvis, like all those, like you know what I mean, like those that got inspired and what people considered rock, you know, before rhythm and blues and all that stuff that actually inspired rock. I feel like a lot of the 90s stuff, like where they were just as like, kind of the product, like the result of another previous generation, but did it really well. Like kind of they did it well in the, I guess the 60s or 70s. I think the 90s did it really well, kind of paying tribute just by inspiration of, through music. Yeah,
totally. I mean, like, Nirvana's songs are so. I mean, he actually played a Leadbelly song during that live performance, like, where Nirvana Unplugged. The last song they say, "Where do you sleep at night?" I don't remember the exact. It was a Leadbelly song from like the 20s, where it's just like an old crackly recording.
Yeah. When you go back to like some of those black and white, I think it's Dust to Digital is a good Facebook page, and there's some other ones, or even like you heard of like this it's Maria Tharp or Sharp or
Sister Rosetta Tharp.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, it's this big old black lady. It's like black and white. The only place you can find, dude, and she's like, I don't know if it was how early it was. I don't know, it was 30s, 40s.
The electric guitar I think was invented in the 50s, early 50s.
Was it 50s?
So she's probably from like the 50s to like the early 60s.
Dude, she was ripping.
Oh, yeah.
Ripping on the guitar. God, what's her name again?
Sister Rosetta Tharp.
Sister Rosetta Tharp. There's a whole special. I think I downloaded it, just overloaded my computer. Yeah. I just got crazy, started downloading stuff. I was just in shock.
Her, like the founder of rock and roll. Like before even Chuck Berry and all that stuff, she was the guy.
Yeah.
Like she was.
They did not be giving people no proper dues, man. We didn't even talk about them before I transferred over here to CSUDH when I was at Orange Coast Community College. I had a history of rock class. We talked about a lot of early rhythm and blues and whatever, some of the black artists that inspired rock, like Elvis and all that stuff. But we didn't even talk about her. I found her on my own. I don't even know how I found her. But when I did, I was like, are you kidding me? She was shredding like that back then. I was just like, dude, like, does people not understand? So for me, that's super funny because, like, say, like, years later, when I'm black, like teenager, or even early 20s, listening to rock music, and then people are like, "You're black, you can't listen to rock," or like, it's ridiculous. The most weirdest. It's the most ridiculous. It's like, are you aware of where rock's like? Are you sure?
Yeah. People think it was like, Elvis just pulled it out of his butt. Like he just made the guitar dum da dum da dum da dum.
Yeah, like, all that stuff. Beach Boys, Chuck Berry, like how they took one of his songs or something. He had like the melody or whatever. He ended up, I think, suing them. A lot of those like kind of artists after that they consider, like, a lot of them got sued, I think, by some of the estates of some of those original artists. I mean, it's just crazy.
Another female artist from back in the day, Memphis Minnie, who was like an acoustic
I've never even heard
female
of
blues artist that people just don't talk about.
Memphis Minnie?
Memphis Minnie.
A note to self, Memphis Minnie.
I mean, there's so many people that there's a guy named Texas Alexander. There's, Howlin' Wolf, I think, was a great one for me, for like the voice. That voice was like,
I think
So
I
distinct.
just downloaded some Howling Wolf because I saw him in Cadillac Records and he was like so oppositional to like what's his name, Muddy Waters. They kind of didn't like each other. I was like, that's so badass because two talented people they were just on, dude, in the movie at least. I don't know if that's how they really rolled. They had their guitar in the thing, and then they had their like pistol revolver in the guitar case.
Yeah, I mean,
they were just freaking badasses.
Yeah, I mean, even on the countryside, Hank Williams was a bad man. Like that man would drop down and fight you any dang time.
Yeah, he did not care.
From where country music maybe is today to where it was from, like those guys are bad men. Yeah.
Like rappers where they are today, where they came from.
Yeah, like I mean, Robert Johnson supposedly like he died by drinking a poisoned whiskey bottle that came to him open. Robert Johnson, the Four Corners, of the
I don't even know
Crossroads, like that's the foundation of a lot of stuff. Like there's supposedly Eric Clapton wouldn't talk to you unless you knew who Robert Johnson was. Like,
I can believe that.
That was like that point, but like. So Sonny Boy Williams was an older blues player with Robert Johnson. They were playing a show, and an open bottle of whiskey came to the back, and he was about to drink it, and Sonny Boy Williams knocks it out of his hand like, you don't drink an open bottle of whiskey. And then Robert Johnson went to him, you don't knock a bottle of whiskey out of my hand.
Damn.
It's like,
I'll show you how I could die right now. I'll show you.
These guys, they ain't messing around back then,
Jeez. It was some real stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. And that era of blues and stuff, it's music education 101. Like if you don't know that kind of stuff, I don't know how you can play rock and roll. Like honestly, like, I don't know how, if you don't know, like you got to learn those foundations if you want to play and build off of it.
Yeah, you got to know where it came from.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do want to ask you, do you have any rap or hip hop influences?
Yeah.
Like just like in one way or another? I'm curious about that.
I mean, I love the rhythms and the delivery in rap.
Yeah.
When you get to people that can really spit, their flow and delivery is just unbelievable. How they can make words seem so seamlessly
connect to one another.
And so, I mean, obviously
vernacular.
grew up with like the Biggie and Tupac stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a big influence, I don't like, it's just his vocal style was Zach De La Rocha.
Rage.
Rage.
Loves Rage.
It's
Loves
just
Rage.
The idea of his lyrics and then the way he delivers it and like the whole screaming aspect, I think is amazing.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Gosh. I mean, I heard some like Big Daddy Kane from back in the day.
Big
like,
Daddy Kane was ripping.
Some stuff like that. Tribe Called Quest heard listen to some stuff like that. I mean, rap wasn't the biggest influence, but definitely lyrically, those guys are just
that's what's up, man.
On another level.
We're not going to get another Rage album, are we?
No,
Not
but supposedly soon we're going to get another One Day as a Lion record, which is Zach De La Rocha's side project.
I would appreciate it. Appreciate that. And you said Long Shot is
the Green Day,
his side
project,
so
Long
he can
Shots,
still go around doing little shows, and that's dope.
I've heard it's a bit punky kind of thing, but I haven't checked it out yet. But,
I'll check it out. We'll both check it out. Also, that
Memphis Mini.
Yeah,
there's just great.
Let's see. I did want to ask you. So if you're on I feel like I'm gonna ask all my guests this. If you're stuck on, let's say you're on an island. Let's just change it up. Say you're stuck on an island.
I see it now.
For the rest of your life. What 3 bands or artists, dead or alive, do you want on that island with you?
Goodness.
Dead or alive?
Goodness gracious.
3. You're gonna be hanging out with these people, listening to them every day. Could get weird. Who's it gonna be?
All right. Well, the first one maybe it's a curveball, but I absolutely love his music, and it's just so 90s is Jeff Buckley.
Jeff Buckley.
Hallelujah and all that kind of stuff. That
I'm gonna have to listen to Jeff Buckley.
He does that old school like just soul, man. He's got that soul, but that beautiful voice that you could listen to for days. And he was a session guitar player, so his guitar skills are off the chain. Yeah, I mean, obviously, another one. I mean, goodness.
Number 2
goodness gracious.
In the chamber. Who's it gonna be? Dead or alive?
I mean, I feel like if I don't say Kurt Cobain, it's like blasphemy of like all my life. Like, it's just like the freedom that he seemed to have when he played. Like, he could just do. There's a song, Endless and Nameless, or Nameless and Endless.
Mhm.
That one at the very end, I think it's on Nevermind.
Mhm.
It's just so chaotic and like
Yeah.
free forming that like it's like you have to have a whole nother idea of what music is to just make these squealing guitars music.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. I watched one of his specials or something talking about him, which was really cool. And also, he was interesting. It's like people like that. They were like fully like involved in the music. Like the music was them. Everything about their life coming out. Like everything. There was no BS, like made up marketing plan.
Yeah.
Like it was just them. But also, I like was it Lake of Fire?
That's a Meat Puppet song, I believe. That's on their live show that they did, the Unplugged in New York.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah.
It's the first one that comes to mind. But I mean, I like a lot of their songs, but that Lake of Fire one I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the imagery that he provokes in that song, especially the way that he sings it in that performance, is unreal. And a third person to be on this lonely island of just me, Jeff Buckley, and Kurt Cobain. Just all guitars all day, squealing guitars. Gosh, it's so difficult. Maybe I don't want to sound hipster or anything. It's
Do
like
whatever you want.
the self-conscious of you. Oh God, but I love this person.
Oh, good.
A songs that I can listen to all day and every day is this guy named Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Screamin' Jay Hawkins, another one.
This is someone that everyone knows his music, but they don't know
him. Okay.
So you know that song, I Put a Spell on You.
Yes,
that's him.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he just write like?
No, it's his.
But
like,
somebody else covered it eventually.
Yeah, that song just got so popular. But if you listen to the original version, he just has this such explosive voice that's utterly insane, and he played the piano. So I just wanted to give some variety of not just like a 4-guitar, on the island, but I wanted to throw it on some bluesy piano maybe on the island.
Have you ever heard Lee Moses' "Bad Girl"?
Oh, you showed me.
I did show you. I love that, like, because I started at some point. I started getting older jazz and some like I don't know if you consider it rhythm and blues or whatever. I originally heard it. It was in a movie with Clive Owen. It was called like Brother or Blood something. It was like a organized crime type movie. And he's like in a bar and they play, and I was like, damn, this song is dope. They played it in an episode of Girls, that show on HBO, like some girls like dancing.
Oh yeah, I know that show. Yeah,
she's a bad girl. I'm not gonna try and sing that, but dude, it gives me like the deep feels. So that's a dope song. So we got Charles Buckley, we got Nirvana, and who was the third one?
Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Screamin' Jay Hawkins. That's who we're stuck on the island with. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like we got your most memorable show moment with Chucky.
Tijuana.
How about because I went to Flying Lotus. It was Flying Lotus, Little Dragon, Bad Bad Not Good, and this other woman, Marcy Galdero, I can't remember it. Hollywood Bowl last Sunday for Father's Day. So I'm gonna be a father in October. Shout out to the wife growing my little baby. And that was a great show. What was the last live show you went to?
It was last Friday. I went to the Wiltern in Hollywood.
Oh, for real? Everybody was in Hollywood. What did you go last weekend?
Yeah, last Friday.
Lance was at the Hollywood Bowl, the same show I was at with his wife.
Oh, really?
I didn't know he was there. And you were in the Wiltern?
I was at the Wiltern last Friday. I saw the power trio of the stoner metal band called Sleep.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Insane.
I've heard of Sleep, and I'm still surprised these bands are able to get these like one name.
Oh, they're a band from like the early '90s too, but they've just been playing for a long time.
Can you describe Sleep to me? And I'm sure maybe some people watching this, because I feel like there's like there's people that are going to know. Some people I probably know on Facebook or friends that are familiar with Sleep. I'm not. Can you describe them a little bit to me?
They are very rhythmic, super heavy, very almost like Black Sabbath-y. So it consists of Matt Pikes on guitar, who is an absolute shredder, who is one of our professor, Joshua McKendry's, like that's one of his favorite guitar players.
Yes.
This guy just shreds. And Alcy Sneros, who is an amazing bass player that just is like slamming the bass when he plays it. Like, so he doesn't pick it. He slams that thing.
Like he's not even like the thumb thing.
It's
like
boom, 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 boom.
He's like playing it like a drum.
Yeah, it's
like bongos.
yeah. and he's doing vocals at the same time. And then I think his name's John Rodair. He's the drummer for Neuroses.
Okay.
Which is another like hardcore kind of band, but it's a very famous hardcore band. And they are called like the Power Trio, stoner metal.
Really?
And that band Sleep, it's just rhythmic, solo. And the thing like you have to also too is like, I just heard an interview with Matt Pipes, the guitar player, and he was saying that the way that they set up their stage is like their amps on stage is giving all the volume for everything. So then if you add
they don't hook up to like the houses like,
but see they intend to have that, but then when you add a PA on top of that, it's just like deafeningly loud and grunge, like heavy distortion.
Are they like what was I gonna say? I can't even remember. Like, is it so loud? Like, do you wear any?
Oh, I have.
You have to.
Oh, yeah.
So it is that loud.
Oh, yeah.
You have to wear. When a rock artist says they have to wear your protection just to go to another rock band, it's probably. You think Vic, our death metal drummer from Nick the File in our program, he could handle that, or do you think he would?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But he's even as an engineer, like that engineer aspect of you kicks in, like, oh, these are my money makers. Let me protect these.
Yeah,
like,
I just had my wife take out some earplugs, some foam and like wax earplugs for me. I need to just start bringing those because the sessions are getting increasingly loud. Drummers, dude, they just so. Oh my God, they're so loud. Just ripping on those, the snare, the toms. I'm finally starting to remember the different aspects, the parts of it. Yeah, man, I wasn't doing none of this stuff. Rack tom, floor tom, hi-hat, the crash ride, the kick drum. You want to throw a sub kick in there?
Shout out sub kicks.
Shout out to sub kicks.
Sleep though, it's like a wall of amplifiers on their dang stage. Like,
God, they're just loud. They're just like, we're gonna be really loud.
If you try to I try to record it on Instagram, it just comes out like.
I do have my phone. I have to. It's just like the transients are like.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Like,
you could sample that. It sounds like some beast.
That'll be the distortion on my next album. It's just gonna be iPhone distortion.
Yes, let's get that. Oh man, it could be like what was that guy we learned about? He just did the like whatever of silence.
John Cage.
It could be that new John Cage. What's the song called?
433.
433. Go look up that John Cage 433. It's just nothing but silence, just whatever the ambient sound of the room is, and that could be your album. I downloaded this guy, Jake Levine, who I'll have on the show eventually. I kind of want to schedule him. So I got like 3 people scheduled now, so making the 4th one go like a month out.
You got the wait list going on. People want to be on here. This is an awesome show.
Come on.
People are loving the show.
Dude, I listened to, it's called this guy JPEG Mafia, just random, just black rapper, but kind of falls in the area of Death Grips, kind of not so much rock, but just I don't know, maybe the flow, cadence, voice. But he had like emojis for some of his. People are getting really creative with the tracks. They're like using emojis or just symbols. You can't even pronounce them. Yeah. Barry showed me some weird stuff. It's like, triangle, square. It's like on GTA, like a up, down, left, right. And that's where we're kind of getting into. But I thought that was just funny to see that on the track listing. Let me see. No. Oh yeah, I definitely want to ask you this. Like best case scenario, no limits, like on what you can do or achieve in the industry. What's your? I guess I should ask you. What are your dreams? What are your dreams to achieve and contribute?
The fantasies, the contribution to the propelling of music.
Not everybody asks you what your dreams are. You should ask your friends what their dreams are.
The dream is to obviously to make music and play music. Yes. But at the same time, I mean, to be able to take time off and to just produce and engineer people in the studio. So it's like having both of those.
That balance between the artist and producer / recording engineer.
Yeah, that because I mean, I've met people that have gone on tour and that have done that, and it's taxing to yourself mentally and physically, and then to always have to maybe rely on that as your source of income is the struggle.
Yeah.
And so to be able to have a separate source of income from like producing a band and recording, and plus I just love being in the studio, like the energy of creating something and the energy of like discovery of something else, like a new sound or something like that is absolutely amazing.
That's what's up.
And so definitely like that. But I think also too, like if simply someone could just hit me up like, hey, I need a song.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? I would like just love that, to be that person that someone
Dude,
would be like,
they come to you for when they need to record something. That's what Albini like for In Utero, or what is it?
In Utero?
In Utero, I think I was reading like a little Wikipedia thing. I know it's not all factual, but I think it's got some good sources in there. Apparently they had reached out because the sound for like he worked on, I guess, the Pixies album, his band The Breeders. He's also worked with the Stooges, which I love. And apparently, like Kurt Cobain and the band, they reached out to him for that album because they felt like their sound was getting a little too polished, and they kind of needed them rough, rugged, and raw, grungy vibes.
I've listened to other musicians from back in that time, like interviews from when Nevermind and stuff came out. And people didn't really seem to see why they went that direction. Like they went very polished and very clean and very produced, and that's not what that genre sort of like calls for, you know. It's sort of very like garage rockish kind of stuff. And so that Nevermind really to musicians didn't seem to resonate as like an authentic like presentation of that genre, where rather In Utero people heard that and they're like, okay, that's what it's supposed to sound like, you know, raw, uncut, distorted, like screaming vocals, just maybe not so cut tailored,
cookie cut, they're not mainstream's not really catering to any, you know, music subcultures right now. Back then it was like everything that was like grunge or indie kind of was the mainstream. Like anything that was indie kind of just became a regular it was, everybody was like, it seemed just indie at that point. There was, I mean, I'm sure there was some pop stuff, but it was weird. They just really had their time in the light with all that stuff, and it was just killing it.
I mean, when grunge as even like a fashion influences like Vogue magazine, like if you look back at that point, they're like a grunge issue for Vogue magazine.
I'm seeing a picture of the Kurt Cobain right now with his sweater and it's like a weird hat, and like
when you influence to that level of high fashion and that like culture and popularity, like you are doing something to another level, you know. It's like definitely, but In Utero, Nirvana.
Just who he, I guess they called on him to work with him and stuff.
And I mean, Steve Albini, shout out Steve Albini, always my man.
He might just reach out to you, bro.
I mean, he just has that approach for that kind of stuff. Like that's the stuff that he works on, not solely, but like that odd kind of true rock styles. He's the guy. I mean, he's the man, the myth, the legend, you know. And he's a character onto himself, you know. That's what's up. He's unapologetic, but you know,
that's what's up.
He's got it.
Let's see here. How there was one I wanted to. Oh, what is the most cringeworthy song you can think of right now?
Cringeworthy.
Something that you hear, you're like, no, stop.
Maybe that what's that bad baby girl that Catch Me Outside girl. See, you just did it. You just did it for me. Like it's all about branding nowadays, and I think like that's just the whole like idea of she is everything that this music is right now, where you just need to be a brand and you can make a song and it get popular, you know. It's like I don't even mind mumble or any of that other stuff. Like I don't mind that, but when she makes it for just being on Dr. Phil and saying something ridiculous, like, and now she has a record deal, it makes me someone who's like working hard at writing songs and like stays up all night trying to think of lyrics. Like I just hate that so much. Like our
culture just absolutely rewards the worst human beings, the worst representatives of human beings' life existence. We just reward those people. We find monetarily, like popularity, just everything, attention. Just like, this is great. I didn't want to.
You throw a pretty cool beat, and then you just produce the heck out of her, and it sounds like a radio-worthy song. But it's like, but is it really doing anything for art? Is it really doing anything for like genres or anything? Like, are we promoting good art? You know, at the end of the day, like music is art. You know, and I think people just worry too much about the money and about selling records and about getting stuff instead of like, is this good art, you know? But also, you know, we can't be so hipsterish, but like, oh, that art sucks and this art sucks. Like,
yeah,
you know, you gotta let art speak for itself.
You do have to let art speak for itself. You got to let everything through and just let the people decide. But you know, a lot of these corporations definitely have a big kind of stranglehold. They've got, you know, kind of like on the channels of distribution too, where you're going to hear your stuff on. So I'm hoping we're going to have another Napster like revolution where people like you and other independent artists get even more of a voice online and stuff, because that's kind of evens out the playing ground, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that could be big with like the way we listen to music. Like Spotify really controls how we listen to music for the people that are constantly on Spotify. And that's like 10 millions of people. But like even like our daily playlist, even like the algorithms and everything, like what's Hot Friday or some playlist like that. Like the Spotify curators who create these playlists are very specific and
meticulous.
Yeah, it's not like they're just like, oh, this is a good song, let me put it on here. Like, no, does it have marketability?
Yes.
Does it have a following? And then I can present it to other people that sort of like this. It's very niche stuff, but it seems like there's people out there that, you know, I've met people that I never would expect that actually like my music because I thought maybe they were like a popular, like they listen to popular music, but they love it. And it's like, we can't assume that this person is only this or this person only likes this.
No, you cannot. You cannot assume at all. I think I want to ask you one more question, and then I want to play Ego Destroys. I kind of want to go out on that note.
Yeah, for sure.
So, last question. Ooh, I want a good one. I asked you a lot of questions already. How does the best sounding song music make you feel? If you can think of a song, great. If you can't, but how do you, because I feel like I get chills, like a really good song, I get like chills up my back. It just makes me feel like I can accomplish like anything in life. What's that like for you? What's that feel like? And is there a song you can think of? Yeah, no,
I've had those songs. I think it's more rare nowadays. Like it doesn't come around as often. But, for me, it's a feeling of like anxiety, but happiness. It's like in the pit of my stomach kind of a feeling. Where like it's hard to sit still, but yet like I don't want to leave. It's like I need to use the restroom, but I don't at the same time. Like it's very like butterflies. Like I just asked out a girl, but I'm listening to a song kind of a thing.
I feel
like
that.
It's very mixed emotions. But a song that I heard by the Red Hot Chili Peppers is Don't Forget Me.
Yeah.
There's a live performance that they do where John Frusciante, the former guitar player, just absolutely goes off on a guitar solo. And I was just like, whoa, like it just hit me. Like the musicianship. I like to watch a lot of live concerts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I like to see like the actual, like the musicianship. Like you can take, like I said, make an album, you know, quantize and cookie cutter and just have it perfect, you know. But on an album, on live, it's you have to bring it, or else you're not, you know, you're not gonna make it. You know, you got to be able to play it in good live. And so that song was definitely one. The first time I heard The Tallest Man on Earth, I was sitting in the back of a car. Yeah. And my friend was like, "This is the greatest song to wake up to in the morning." It's called The Dreamer. The Dreamer. I gotta get by The Tallest Man on Earth. I remember that song really hit me. And that one made me just want to be like, I'm doing music. Like that was. That's the power of music. That's what it'll. I mean, music is so powerful. That and the first time I heard. So I talked about Sleep, the bass player in Sleep. Yeah. Al Cisneros has a side project called Om, O-M. They have an album that was recorded by Steve Albini called God is Good. The first time I heard the intro song called Thieves, which is like a 19-minute long song, once it's very ambient for about 7 to 8 minutes, and then all of a sudden like the drums and bass just kick in, and it's like heavy distortion. Like that song to me, I was like raking up some leaves when I used to be a landscaper, and I heard that and I was like, what is that? Crazy. Like I was in a world for a moment, but and a lot of like I talk about him a lot of Steve Albini stuff, because his drums to me is just so natural and just clean. It's drums, man. It's just so nice. So those stuff really got me. That's what's up. One shout out to switch away from all the rock and roll. First time I heard Nora Jones. Nora Jones. Oh, killed
She
me.
does.
Loved it.
I might need to listen to
Loved
some
it.
more Nora Jones aside from that like one song that got popular because she's a daughter of somebody.
Ravi Shankar.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
It's the Indian sitar player that really
really?
got the Beatles growing from like the
Oh.
60s and stuff when they went to India. He was
Wow.
that famous guy. But yeah, she has some great albums that just like really like got me. Like Little Broken Hearts is a great album that she did with Danger Mouse, the producer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they wrote it all in the studio. Like they wrote it every word in the studio. She came in with nothing and they made it in the studio.
Damn, yeah, that guy's a beast, man.
Yeah, his drum sounds and bass tones that he gets in that album are just ridiculous.
What's the name of that one?
Little Broken Hearts.
Little Broken Hearts. Okay.
Yeah, that's how. It's funny because Taylor and I both have that same poster because we both have that album. That's how we sort of like
That's
bonded
why you
over
guys
that
are
album.
bye-bye. Seth Rogan laugh. Dude, let me go ahead and let me play that. I'm gonna play the ego song, and then we'll just like we'll fade out of that, and then we'll just kind of say bye to everybody.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Let me get that. Let's see. Is that playing?
Mhm.
There we go. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and then we'll say bye to everybody.
Yeah, no, totally. No, thank you. Yeah, it's been great, dude.
Yeah, man. Next guy comes at like 11, so try and get out of here at like 11:55. How long is this song?
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
Around that time.
Okay, so we'll get like 57, 58. We'll just say like peace. Yeah. I want to hear what they finish that panning.
That's gonna be ridiculous because I haven't even really been able to hear like the full mix of it.
Yeah.
Like I had to leave right when they started doing the reamping of the vocals and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Even like there's certain vocal spots I want to hear like. But yeah, they have a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that. Yeah. Oh, thank you again, dude. This is so much fun.
Yeah, dude, man.
A little nervous in the beginning, but
Yeah, I can tell you're a little nervous, but it's man.
You get accustomed. You get used to it, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
fuck. Hear that distortion, baby.
Yeah.
It's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better over time.
Yeah, I mean, and just adding more production and stuff like that, like little, like, really focusing on like added elements to the songs, like can really like just take it to another level. But, yeah. If you don't mind, I just wanted to shout out my friend that mixed it and like the pedal company. Just a couple things on the song.
Yeah.
But that's it. Whatever.
So I'll bring this back. That is Ego. Is that just Ego Destroys or just Ego?
Just ego.
Okay.
Yeah, that was mixed by my friend Josh Becerra, the great engineer.
That's your drummer?
No,
Or
that was an engineer, a mixing engineer.
Oh, nice.
Him and my drummer and I all went to the same community college in San Diego, and that's how we all met.
That's
and
what's up.
Kind of thing like that. And so he mixed it. He's a great mixer. He has a great mixing studio down in San Diego. That's really tricked out. Yeah, he doesn't really have a name for it. We used to call it Bear Audio, but if anyone ever needs something mixed, he's great. And then the pedal company is a local Tijuana pedal company called Paradox Effects.
Awesome. Shout out Paradox.
Yeah, they have great, unique effect sounds and stuff like that. And they have a funny Instagram page, so please follow them. They're hilarious. They hooked up some of those pedals to like a banana, and they started like making like several bananas lined up, and they made like it was like almost like a piano of bananas in a sense.
What?
Like they have like different ones like watermelons, and they send it through their pedals, and like they make crazy sounds.
That's what's up, man.
They're awesome.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up with the show. Thanks everybody who tuned in, everyone who will tune in. Maybe we'll like link Paradox and some of these other people in this and see what we're talking about them and stuff. But yeah, this is my guest, friend, colleague, Alex Gradwhol, band Above Borders. Yeah. Go check them out. Where can they check you out at?
We have a website, abovebordersband.com. We also have Instagram, Facebook, all that social media stuff. And if they want to listen to the music, it's on YouTube, Spotify, You can Shazam it. I paid extra to Shazam that damn thing. So Shazam it. No,
Shazam that.
But I don't know if that's still a thing, but I feel like it is. But yeah, everywhere. It's Google Play, whatever. But yeah, Above Borders. And yeah, we'll have some shows coming up soon. So if anyone wants to go see it live,
okay.
We upload our shows on our website, abovebordersband.com.
Okay, and I will be so classy, and I will go out on the theme song that Alex created for me.
That was a funny, just random occurrence, and yeah, we're gonna have a new theme song for you later, though. Like we're gonna keep getting more and more, and there's gonna be some good ones coming soon.
I can't wait.
Different genres, different styles. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome. So this was the Black Aaron podcast, episode 2. Alex Gradwhol. We're gonna go out to my my theme music for the moment, which will change over time. Thanks everybody, and see you later. Let's see. Here we go. Oh no! Oh, I'm messing up, dude. I gotta get used to this. Oh, there we go. All right, later, guys. Yeah, so I'll just play that, and then close that. Am I playing? I'm playing from this, so I can close this. Sounds like Dave Chapelle. Alright. How do I stop this thing? I have no idea what I'm doing, obviously. Oh, there it is. End live show. Alright, so let's, I'm gonna wave you bye. Bye, guys.